need a big chunk of money to be able to participate. Which is why, if you look at every single year, 2009, 2010, since the event of APEX, all the way to 2020, you know what's happened? There's an increasingly smaller supply of major mining operations, to a point where approximately 10 ops run the show. Okay? Less than 10 big actors control more than 51% of the resource.
Yes, y'all. My name is Nick. This is the time you need but don't have. It is April 14th. This is episode 4 of 800. Welcome to HourTwentyFive. What is staking? Proof of work versus proof of stake, with a special part 2 from Bart about pooltool.io and all the staking details that go along with it. Just as a reminder, we have timestamps in the video. You can utilize them by the play bar underneath the video, or open up the description box and there'll be a table of contents there for you. Please subscribe. 65% of the people watching are not subscribed. Thank you for watching, and what follows, you need to know. Alright, let's get into it. This is our Twitter page, HourTwentyFive, HR25. If you didn't know, Bernie Madoff has died. The US has recommended that Johnson & Johnson vaccines be paused, not recalled, due to 6 people reporting blood clots. As of April 12th, more than 6.8 million doses of the J&J vaccine have been administered in the US. The CDC and the FDA are reviewing data involving 6 reported US cases of a rare and severe type of blood clot in individuals after receiving the J&J vaccine. In these cases, a type of blood clot called cerebral venous sinus thrombosis was seen in combination with low levels of blood platelets. All 6 cases occurred among women between the ages of 18 and 48, and symptoms occurred 6 to 13 days after vaccination. Treatment of this specific type of blood clot is different from the treatment it might typically receive. Usually, an anticoagulant drug called hairpin is used to treat these clots. In this setting, administration of hairpin may be dangerous and alternative treatments need to be given. One last thing to talk about, Coinbase had its initial coin offering today. As of its opening, it's estimated to be worth or valued at about $100 billion. The stock price is currently trading about, let's see right here, come on, one time, $335.95. Right now, the markets, let's see what we got here. Bitcoin is trading around 62, Ethereum 2351, XRP has been shooting up, it's at 180, and Cardano is on the slow, steady rise at 144. This video is about proof of stake, proof of work, and how they're different. So we're going to get into that. Okay, proof of work, bitdegree.org. Let's bring you to here. Proof of stake versus proof of work, and the basics. When Satoshi Nakamoto was building the first ever cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, he had to find a way for transactions to be verified without the need to use a third party. This he achieved when he created the proof of work system. What is proof of work? Essentially, proof of work is used to determine how blockchain reaches consensus. In other words, how can the network be sure that the transaction is valid and that someone isn't trying to do bad things, such as spend funds twice. Proof of work is based on advanced forms of mathematics called cryptography. This is why digital coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum are called cryptocurrencies. Cryptography uses mathematical equations that are so difficult that only computers can solve them. No equation is ever the same, meaning that once it's solved, the network knows that transaction is authentic. Lots of other blockchains copied the original Bitcoin and as such also used the proof of work model. Although proof of work is an amazing invention, it is anything but perfect. Not only does it need significant amount of electricity, but it is also very limited in the number of transactions that it can process at the same time. That brings me to what Brett Garlinghouse said, the CEO of Ripple. Bitcoin's proof of work consensus model ensures the problem will get worse as the network grows. This is because rising price correlates with energy consumption, and as more miners join the network to take advantage, it becomes a bigger problem. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, the energy consumption and the carbon footprint of a proof of work, that mining that happens to validate the transactions, that continues to scale aggressively also. And we can't lose sight that one Bitcoin transaction is equivalent to about 75 gallons of gasoline being burned. As a result, other consensus mechanisms have been created, with one of the most popular being the proof of stake model. As a result, the world's second most popular cryptocurrency, Ethereum, is in the process of attempting to move from proof of work to proof of stake. The proof of stake date is yet to be confirmed, however, the team is working hard to get it done as quickly as possible. We'll scroll down here a little further. Proof of stake. So the system still uses a cryptographic algorithm, but the objective of the mechanism is different. So while proof of work rewards its miners for solving complex equation, in proof of stake, the individual that creates the next block is based on how much they have staked. To make this simple for you, as this person describes, the stake is based on the number of coins the person has for the particular blockchain they are attempting to mine. So that's what Cardano is. You are staking your Cardano. You're betting on Cardano. And through that stake and delegation, you're helping forge new blocks into the system. But who better to talk to you about the differences between Bitcoin and Cardano other than the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson? So I'm going to play you a quick clip. We'll watch it together, and he's going to break down some things. I think it's pretty captivating information. Sit back and enjoy the show.
They brought up something about how decentralized is Cardano and called us a little crazy for having the audacity to think about it. And there's this concept of decentralization. Nice big thick pen. And it's a worthwhile concept to really consider and think about. It's worthwhile to really wrap your mind around it. You see, Bitcoin has this model called proof of work. And proof of work is a meritocratic lottery system. So basically you have a miner, and a miner is sitting there all day long, and it's computing basically magic numbers. It's looking for a certain number, like a ticket, to basically win. So it's going to go compute, do #1 and #2, and every second it's able to compute a set of potential tickets to win. And eventually, a miner gets lucky, and one of those turns out to be a winning set. And then this gives the miner the right to advance Bitcoin. Now, the system is parameterized in a way where this happens hopefully every approximately 10 minutes, and the difficulty increases over time as more people participate. And more people have an incentive to participate as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So look at price, difficulty goes up as price goes up. And if you actually, sure enough, look at the difficulty graphs of Bitcoin, you can see that relationship on bitcoin.info or any of your other providers. Where you can look at the price of Bitcoin, the energy consumption, and difficulty. There's a very nice tight correlation there. Now here's the problem. As difficulty goes up, proof of work gets more centralized. And this is unavoidable. Okay, so why does it get more centralized? Well, you have to go from CPUs, so those are processors, general processors that live in your computer, my computer, to increasingly more specialized hardware. So anybody can buy a CPU. Your price of admission is very low there. That's Intel, AMD, ARM, etc. Anybody can buy a GPU. Okay, that's NVIDIA, AMD, and they're in pretty good circulation. But then when you start getting to increasingly more specialized things like FPGAs or ASICs, back when I made my first videos on Bitcoin, we were moving from GPUs to FPGAs. That was a big transition back in 2013. And there were already people building ASICs, application-specific integrated circuits. These are custom, and in many cases they're patented, and in many cases they're owned by private companies. Okay? And guess what? They don't have to sell these to you. If it's patented, you can't make it. If it's a private company, the private company doesn't have to sell it to you. And given that it's custom, what does it mean? The supply chain of these things is very, very tight. If these are the only devices that you can use to mine, then you tell me, is the fact that somebody gets the right to decide who gets it open or closed? Your ability to profit, to make money on Bitcoin mining is directly connected to not only your access to ASICs, okay, that's one, but it's also connected to your price of electricity, price of power. All right, well, hang on a second here. What if you live in a country with very expensive electricity? What if you live in a country where you have political connections? You get free power or inexpensive power. So, based on geography and political connections, your price of power may vary. How is that fair for people who don't live in countries with subsidized power or or they live in countries with very expensive power? So we already have two factors that limit access to mining, geographically and also one in the supply chain. The other thing is because there can only be one winner, it tends towards economy of scale. So what does that mean, economy of scale? It means that the larger actors tend to do better. They can optimize things, they can build better data centers, they can have better network access, and so your ticket of admission is now greater than $100 million worth of hardware. So the people who are making real money, who have real power, those are people who have invested greater than $100 million into their mining operations. Not to say you can't make some money and participate, but if you want to run a business, a professional opportunity, there's a huge bias towards the rich. You need a big chunk of money to be able to participate, which is why, if you look at every single year, 2009, 2010, since the event of ATHIX, all the way to 2020, you know what's happened? There's an increasingly smaller supply of major mining operations to a point where approximately 10 ops run the show. Okay? Less than 10 big actors control more than 51% of the resource. Proof of stake needs a resource too. Okay? Our resource isn't an ASIC, our resource is the underlying token, ADA. Let's look at this. Do you need subsidized electricity for proof of stake? No, you don't. Regardless of the price of electricity, you can still stake. Do you need access to proprietary, private, and patented hardware to be able to participate? No, you just need to be able to purchase ADA, which seems to me to be kind of like the CPUs or the GPUs, right? It lives on every exchange. Anybody can purchase that. Okay. Does this benefit from economy of scale? Not really. The way that we designed the protocol after a certain hump, it profits pretty much the same. Do you need to live in a certain geography to be able to have an advantage over others? No, it's egalitarian in that particular respect. Okay, so no geographic restrictions, no patents, open access to resource, and the poor can participate.
Well, I think he summed it up pretty well. I know it was a lot of information, but if you do have any questions about what he was saying, feel free to drop them below and we'd be happy to help you out. For now, I'm going to pass this video off to Bart to talk about part 2, so I'll see you on the other side.
Welcome to part 2 of the video. My name is Bart and this is going to be another celebrity video. Today in this section I want to talk about staking and what exactly staking is and some key benefits as to why you should stake. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the main advantages of staking. 1 being to earn passive income on your stake. 2 would be to keep Cardano decentralized. And 3, Cardano itself is a proof of stake coin compared to Bitcoin, which is a proof of work. On the screen here, we have a basic calculator for the staking itself. It's based on a 10,000 stake of Cardano with a yield of 4.6% yearly, which would generate you 460 Cardano every year just by holding it in a staking pool. On Pool Tools itself, which we showed you this website before, the current amount staked is 27.7 billion, which is equivalent to 71%. Meaning the other 29% is either A, in cold storage, or B, on exchanges themselves. So from you just holding and staking along with other people, you're going to drive the price up because the pool on the exchange is going to get smaller and smaller. So simple supply and demand. People want more, there's less of it, the price goes up. On this website itself, there's a lot of information. I know it can be overwhelming your first time here. Just want to go over the quick features and to what all these numbers actually mean. The epoch fee is a set fee by the operator. 340 is usually the standard, and the variable fee is the fee the pool operators take out of the rewards that they earn from mining blocks. Pledge is how much the pool operators dedicated to the pool. The active stake and the live stake are two different. The live stake is what's currently working in the pool right now. The active stake is how much is available in the pool, and how we've talked about before. If you were to stake with us or anybody, it would be that current epoch plus 2 other ones to come after it, and then your stake would be live and you would be gaining rewards. Right here is the epoch blocks. and how many the pool has mined during the epoch, which is 5 days. There's currently 1 day left in this epoch, 258. The biggest one right here is the Ada Light stake pool. They have 64 million in their live stake and have mined 220 blocks. Their lifetime ROS is 2.75. And on that calculator that I showed you previously was a 4.6. On average, you'll be looking at about 4 to 5% annual APY on your stake itself. One main point I like to talk about right now is bigger pools versus smaller pools, and in the end it all averages out. Right now it takes between 700,000 and 1 million Cardano to get a block every epoch. Over time, even the smaller pools will get blocks. Depending on the size of the pool and the amount you have staked, you could gain greater rewards. A good example would be if a pool were to have 100,000 and you have 10,000 staked in it, and they were to mine a block, which is roughly 1,000 rewards, you get 10% of that, which would be 100 Cardano. They don't mine blocks as frequently as the bigger pools do, but you would gain greater rewards with the amount you have staked versus the pool size itself. So wrapping it up, in general, I just want to go over a summary of why it's important to stake Cardano. The main one I want to touch on is staking earns you passive income, and one feature I want to remind you of is the Cardano never leaves your wallet. You're always in full control of it. So if you ever wanted to sell at any point, you're free to do so. Send it back to the exchange, trade it in for a different coin or US dollar or anything you'd like. So thank you for watching. Any comments, please feel free to leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. We'd like to see this channel get bigger. I'm going to give this over to Nick to wrap up the video. So thank you for watching.
Well, that'll do it for episode 4 of HourTwentyFive. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please drop a comment below. The next episode is going to be more world news, and then we're going to touch on the Ledger wallet, the hardware, and how to sync it, how to get it going, and make sure that everything runs properly. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the other side. See ya.